Third and fourth round monsters, league winners hiding inside round 3 and 4. Man, I almost want nothing but third and fourth rounders. Draft pick trading, trade in a non-best ball format. Trade your first rounder for a second and a third. Trade your second rounder for a third and a fourth. And just accumulate 5, 6 picks inside the third, top of round 4 territory. And you can land all these types of players. We're going to go over third and fourth round monsters. We're also going to attack some of the news. Kyren Williams on the verge of an extension. I've been telling you this. You're not going to get Kyren Williams at 3.5, 3.6 like he's going right now ADP wise. It's one of the biggest steals in fantasy. You're not going to get him that late if a contract gets announced because he'll be top of mind. People will be reporting on it. Hey, he signed an extension. Let's talk about Kyren real quick. And top of mind situations usually increase value. So we've got Jonnu Smith trade rumors. We have more Tyreek Hill rumors. We got more fantasy football stuff to go over on the news wires. And of course, third and fourth round monsters, the fantasy football show Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So Kyren Williams, according to Rams head coach Sean McVay, there's been a healthy and positive progress in contract negotiations with Kyren Williams. This is not something they don't want to get done. I've heard this several times from several different sources, completely unconnected to each other. Not saying I have an inside track on when it's happening, but this is not something that they want to go either side. Kyren, especially Kyren, because he's a running back that's taking a beating. And even if he's got to take a little less than he wants, he's going to do it. He's going to jump to get the contract because if he gets injured, he might have nothing in 2026. That's the way running backs operate. They got to be a little bit more fearful and take a little bit less if they can't get more. But this is a man that's not sitting here going, I'm not going to play. I'm going to hold out. He's doing the right thing. McVay wants to feed him. The contract will make people that are doubting Kyren say, you know what? McVay loves him after all. Smitty's been right after all. Smitty's been cooking on the Kyren thing for a couple years.
Let him cook.
We've been all over Kyren, and I gotta admit, I almost don't want him to get the contract because then more people are gonna just be like, I kind of doubted him, now I don't. If they're going to pay him big money, that protects him into a locked-in, roster spot or lineup spot no matter what. Because what people end up saying is, remember Corum? Blake Corum's going to take his job. Kyren didn't have high draft capital, Smitty. Corum's got a higher draft capital. Now it's Jarquez Hunter who's going to eat Blake Corum for breakfast. He literally is taking his mom out to dinner tonight. Jarquez Hunter's taking Blake Corum's mom out to dinner. And he's not bringing her back home past until after midnight.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Yeah. That said, he's not taking Kyren's job. But if Jarquez Hunter gets the phone call and they say, Jarquez in the bullpen, we're ready for you. Kyren, got abducted safely by aliens, but he won't be here for the remainder of the game. Then the music plays. The music plays.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
And Jarquez Hunter comes marching out onto the field. They hand him the ball, and Jarquez Hunter runs for not one, but 2 touchdowns in his first affair.
Let him cook.
Jarquez Hunter's a monster. But I think the doubters that are clinging to whatever they're clinging to, they start to let go the minute Kyren gets an extension. The minute Kyren's getting paid as a top 5, top 6 running back in the National Football League per year, even if it's team friendly, the moment he gets the bag, those doubters don't really have much to cling to anymore. Kyren didn't get hurt last year. He'll never play a full season. He always gets banged up. Didn't get hurt last year. Achan, same thing.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Achan says, I could take a full workload. Kyren says, I can take a full workload. Bucky says, I can take a full workload. RJ Harvey says, I can take a full workload. Oh, but Smitty, the smaller running back, is just not somebody you can trust, Smitty. Smaller RBs play down. Achan can't carry... Hold on, I'm getting word. He played every game last year, Achan did? Well, that's because he ate a lot of spinach, Smitty.
He's Kyren, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a...
Achan. Achan is the man.
He's getting a contract. And let me tell you this, if he doesn't get a contract extension, if Kyren doesn't get paid, which will solidify all the stupid comments of he's not the starter long term because he's draft capital, or McVay doesn't love him, he likes other running backs. McVay uses one running back. If his contract extension doesn't come, you know what this man is going to be in a position to do? Fight for a bag. Fight for money. Contract year. He's going to be hungrier than ever. And this is not the kind of guy that if he gets paid, he starts to ease back. He's got a lightning bolt on his nose. He's got a lightning bolt on the bridge of his nose. Who has a lightning bolt besides Harry Potter? This is Kyren Potter. This is Harry Kyren or Harry Potter, Kyren Potter, whichever one suits you best. And I'm not even going to pause on that one. Kyren's going to the moon. You're either, no, not the moon, not Mars, not Saturn. Return to Jupiter, whether you like it or not.
To Jupiter.
Okay, Kyren, get ready for that increase in value. Current ADP 3.4, 3.5. I don't think we're going to see that in the coming months, but we'll see. Maybe he climbs to the bottom of 2. I'm still fine with that. 2-3 turn. I take him there anyway. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting there at the 2-3 turn, 24-25 back-to-backs. I'll take Kyren anyway. I'm taking him there anyway. He'll probably climb, but to the valuation that I'm comfortable with still snagging him. Jonnu Smith. Dolphins have had trade discussions with the Pittsburgh Steelers about their lone Pro Bowl selection last year, tight end Jonnu Smith, per league sources. Those talks came after Smith expressed an interest in reworking his deal that is scheduled to pay him a $4.8 million amount, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, folks, I don't think we want him going anywhere. I've seen a couple comments already in a row from people that say things like, get him into a better system, he deserves it, he needs to go here, he needs to go there. The grass is always greener. It just... Rum says, it's funny. Let's see what's funny to you. Let's see what entertains you, Rum, because I see your comment. I read everything, by the way. It's funny because you're so sure about Kyren, and we're talking about selling James Cook for peanuts yesterday. So, like, what's your point, Rum? No one understands what you're even saying. Maybe you want to clarify what you're even... Yes? What do you even say? The sky's blue, and sometimes when it's cloudy, it looks white. That's what your comment sounds like. No one knows what you're talking about. Jonnu Smith, the grass is greener, folks. You want him to go somewhere else. This is where he was made. This is the location that turned him into the player that no one expected him to be, but Superfish, when Superfish made that bold prediction on the board up there last year and won the bold prediction contest. And any $50 hauler, you get to throw your bold prediction on the board. And if you win it, you can co-host at least half a show or more, depending on how good you are. You can just sit. You're just going to sit on the phone line, but you get free reign to sit on the phone line the entire show, unless you're Gump and win. Gump is subject to potentially being hung up on, but we'll always answer the call if Gump does win and have him jump right back on. But Gump always gets hung up on. I think that it's probably like one of those things that he wants a new contract. Somebody called about it. I don't know that it was really entertained to trade him. I think if his demands were crazy, they would consider trading him if they felt like he could hold out. I don't think it would serve Tua well to get rid of his favorite weapon. I don't think it would serve Miami Mike McDaniel, who's hanging on to his job by a thread, to trade him. Is it possible? Sure. Are the Miami Dolphins a circus right now, run by a very amazing offensive architect in Mike McDaniel, but a clown show of a coach? Yeah, I don't know. This is turmoil in Miami. Tyreek Hill wants out. Jonnu doesn't necessarily want out, but he wants to get paid. And if he doesn't get paid, maybe he's open-minded or just posturing. It's the same situation. Both have running backs sitting behind them. Cook will hold out and the Chiefs will snap him up in 10 seconds. It's not the same situation, Rum. Just because you think it's the same situation doesn't mean it's the same situation. Just because you disagree with me doesn't mean what you think is right. Hate to break it to you. Not the same situation.
You've just been Smitty
Okay, so other than the mere threat of wanting a new deal, someone calling and having a discussion, there's nothing here yet that really tells us that he's on the move. He hasn't requested a trade, Jonnu Smith, and that's typically where these things kind of unravel. There's turmoil in Miami, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Jonnu, who doesn't necessarily want to move, I don't even know his housing situation. If he owns a home, they'd have to sell it. That's all a big deal, But some people want to get out. People love Miami that live there. So I don't know that he necessarily wants to leave. I think at the end of the day, we don't know where he stands when push comes to shove. I don't think the Miami Dolphins, it's in their best interest to be trying to, I don't think they're winning now. So to try and overpay a Jonnu Smith, it's kind of just going to be calling his bluff. And who the hell knows where this team's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if this team wins 5 or 6 games this year. Miami, and I hate to say that about Achane, but doesn't necessarily hold Achane back because he's so involved in the passing game. Doesn't mean they can't play tough and lose games by clock mismanagement like Miami Mike McDaniel knows so well how to do. But I wouldn't be surprised if they won 8, 9, 10 games either. Like they're not a team that you can really peg very easily. A lot depends on Tyreek Hill. A lot depends on how Miami Mike McDaniel, Coach Mike McDaniel, gets everything pieced back together. Tyreek Hill wants out constantly. And if this didn't add more, there's two pieces of Tyreek Hill news that create more drama and buzz here. So here are those 2 pieces of news. Number 1, Tyreek Hill has reportedly lost weight. Tyreek Hill says he's down 14 pounds and playing at about, I think it's 185, 186. And we've seen receivers play at 186, so we can't really sit here and act like we haven't touted players like Tank Dell or, Devontae Smith. But he's a 30-year-old player that's used to playing at a certain size. Usually when you change your playing weight significantly, you open the door to injuries. 30-something years old, this is probably not the best idea to play at a different weight. Who knows if he holds it? A lot of people talking about how he could be quicker and faster. Who knows what in the hell he's going to be? He's gonna get hit and not have as much padding. There's a pro and a con to being a little bit slimmed down. The con being that you're gonna, at 30 plus years old, 31 years old, get leveled, not be able to take a beating as much. And for a guy that was injured all year with the wrist, not that the wrist has to do with any LBs on the frame, but this is not a guy we want toying around with getting banged up. This is the last year, if he's even got a last year of pressing anybody. And I don't know, the last time a player at 30 years old went from, what was it, 1,800 yards? Let's see, let's ask Kruger. Off the top of my head, I want to say like 1,800 yards. Hey, Kruger, how many yards receiving did Tyreek Hill have in the 2023 season?
Tyreek Hill racked up 1,799 receiving yards in the 2023 season.
And how many did he have in 2024? 900 something?
Exactly. Tyreek Hill had 1,348 receptions.
Okay, he agrees with everything I say, no matter what. I think he's exactly 900 equals to 1,000. This is a guy that and did he what do you have on the season though? Is he? Let me see here. Tyreek Hill. Let's just make sure I got these numbers because Kruger feeds us bad, bogus information all the time. 959. I was right. Kruger's wrong. Where is he getting this? Where is he getting these numbers? I was right. I'm glad I'm double checking. The man. 81, 959, and 6. When's the last time somebody went from even 1,500 yards, let alone 1,800, down to 950 on pretty much a full season? And then comes back and at 31 years old, bounces back to that elite form. There's almost no chance in my mind. And you mix in all the other red flags, losing weight, and then there's more drama constantly. This is on the same live stream, I believe, that the original ridiculous comments that he's made about Travis Hunter going to be trash, just ripping on Travis Hunter for no reason. Travis Hunter is going to have such a chip on his shoulder. Shedeur Sanders is going to have such a chip on his shoulder. But more of this garbage right here. Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill said he wanted to knock out head coach Mike McDaniel during a game because he wasn't getting him the ball. I remember one game I wanted to knock out Coach McDaniel. He wasn't throwing me the ball. And this is on a live stream. It's just more garbage. It's more garbage. He doesn't have his head on straight. You can link him to like pre-AB unfolding, like the early stages of AB unraveling. And someone can say he's not AB. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying him and AB are on the same level. AB's got a head start. But early stages of AB unraveling, that is where Tyreek Hill is currently sitting. AB looks a lot worse now. We're talking about pre-feet burning off. You know, when he burned his feet off, when he, grandma, I'm free, I can fly like a bird, like an eagle. Right before that, he was unraveling and we thought he was acting weird. We didn't think he was acting like current AB. But Tyreek Hill's acting awfully similar to the early stages and early signs that AB was getting in some craziness. This is getting worse by the day. Now he's playing at 14, not 10, 14 pounds light. I don't like that. Mahomes is out there throwing, by the way, one-handed tosses. Aaron Swarm dropping a $20 hauler. You monster, Aaron. You're a monster, Aaron. You are a monster. We got a couple more super chats I got to get to real quickly, too, because I tell you guys all the time I'm going to answer those in order in which they're received. So let me hit these super chats. We got this $20 holler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you. Let's drop this super on screen. Aaron, my boy, says, in some startups, Kyren goes in the 4th round. Got him at the 4.10. At 16.10, I got Hunter to cuff to him and got him together and got Monty cuffed to Gibbs in the same league. Always love the show. Thank you for always helping. Best fantasy content. Aaron, thank you for dropping the first $20 hauler of the evening, I believe.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Aaron to the mother freaking moon. Let's see what else we got. We got Aaron's super chat out of the way. We got Just Jay dropping a $2 hauler. Says grass is always greener over the septic tank. Thank you, my boy. And then Chrissy saying this, Dynasty, Caleb, Kyren, Corum, Hunter, or Nix and Rashee Rice. Give me Nix and Rashee Rice. Didn't we have this one the other night? That's a much better move, in my opinion. I very much would do that side of that trade. Because I think Rice has a long time. Nix is just getting going as a top 6 QB. And Kyren, while I love him, you have him cuffed. I just don't know that I think you can get the similar long-term value out of Rashee Rice when Kyren may have another year or two before we start worrying about things. That's just the nature of the running back position. Not everybody's a superhuman. Derrick Henry, it is a 6-year shelf life for the most part for RBs. I love Hunter, but I think the concept that Hunter gets to Rashee Rice's level for the long term is one that's hard to grip onto without, getting a little nervous. And Nick's above Caleb all day, so it just makes the difference for me. So I'm going to go ahead and say smash the hell out of that, my boy, and do it live. Appreciate you, Chrissy, for dropping the super chat. Thank you very much. Now back to the news real quickly. Patrick Mahomes, who's out there throwing behind the back passes by design. They're practicing it, by the way. Where's my football? He's literally out there doing one of these numbers. Mahomie is looking ripped. He's shaved his head. He's got a whole new demeanor. He means business. He's not messing around. And Patrick Mahomes on potentially playing flag football in the 2028 Olympics. This is what we kind of want to hear. Even though I'm excited about it a little bit, this is what you really want to hear as a fantasy football and dynasty connoisseur. I'll probably leave that to the younger guys. And that's what I expected out of Mahomes. That's what I wanted to hear.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
I'm excited about it like you all, I'm sure. But I don't want my players going out playing flag football, ripping a knee up. I just don't. It's going to be fun to watch. We can get many other players in the mix. You know, we get to see these guys all day. I don't necessarily think that the NFL players are going to be the most elite flag football players at the start anyway. It's a kind of a different concept, right? And while I think, you know, it would be fun. It would be in some ways more fun for me to watch just the flag football boys get this opportunity. And I know that there's a lot of media around this right now and a lot of people that play flag football that are not happy about the opportunity that they might get, and then the NFL players step on it now that flag football is entering the 2028 Olympics. But there are players that play flag football that are very exciting to watch. And I think it's a little weird to just all of a sudden give this opportunity to the NFL players who don't play flag football. I'm sure some of them will be really, really good, but there is an art to this. And I think it's not good. And I hope the NFL contracts don't allow it, to be honest with you. And I think any future contracts might have that kind of stuff mixed in. All right, so Kyren Williams, and this brings us over to, the news is over, brings us over to the 3rd and 4th round steals. And by the way, if anybody wants to get this hat right here, your boy has cracked the hat space. I've been working on getting a hat that I love. I have not been able to get one that I absolutely love. Everything, when you try and drop ship in a market space like you're kind of forced to in the social media world, it's not like you can just go, oh, Smitty, I got a hat guy. I can't connect that to my, it's all different. It's hard to explain, but you're given a certain number of people to work with. This one right here is phenomenal. This is embroidered. It's embroidered on the side. It's embroidered on the back. It's stitched in. It's not some, heat pressed on little like flat piece of tape. This is a embroidery, and it's only $34. I have a white one that's out as well. You can go to the YouTube store, my YouTube store. If you go to my so here's my merch page. These are the hats right there. There's a white one out now. If you go to my YouTube homepage, or you even see, I think this hat that I'm wearing right here, I actually pinned it as the product to this video. So you'll probably see products or store. But anyway, at any moment, you could go to my YouTube, click on this store tab. So you got home, videos, live, shorts, podcasts, playlists, then store. Click on store. You'll see the hat right there, the first option. And then when you click on that, you can see the white version as well. The white hat is 36 instead of 34 because it has an embroidery on the foreside. Whereas this hat right here, it's got the one side blank embroidery there, and there. And then so it has an extra embroidery on it. But I tried to price them to where I'm not trying to make any sort of crazy money off it at all. I just want to make an amazing hat that my people can buy, that I can wear. This is the uniform of the show now. I'm not saying I'll wear it all the time. Sometimes it gets sweaty here in my studio because I got all these lights everywhere, so I end up taking it on and off throughout a show. But so comfortable. Love this damn thing. If anybody wants a fitted flex fit, they have two sizes. A small medium is one size, and a large XL is the second size. Two sizes fit all. Go get your hat. It's in the YouTube store connected to my channel. All right, let's get to these bad boys right here. We've got Kyren, we've got Breece Hall, we've got Garrett Wilson, we've got Josh Allen, we got JD5, we got more. There are other players that can win you a league from round 3 and round 4. Harvey's probably one of my favorite players as well. We've been talking about him so much I left him off the graphic, but we're not going to leave him off the conversation. If I had to rank my favorite third round players, let's go through and go through it round by round. So third round on one side, this will be third round players, and fourth round players on this side. In order of my favorite players going in those areas. Let me pull up the Underdog ADP rankings. And as we go into the Underdog ADP rankings, I will tell you that I'm going to dip a little bit into the top of 2 and dip a little bit into 4 and so forth to get, every bit of value we can pull out of this conversation, because there is a world where Jacobs is going 24 overall, but he sometimes goes in round number 2. Bucky Irving goes at 21.5, but occasionally in grandma leagues you can get Bucky at 3.1. So if Bucky were available, and we'll put a question mark by this because it's very rare, this would be the number 1 overall third round player that I can imagine anybody drafting, that I can imagine falling. And when I look at wide receivers, and this isn't just for running backs, this is wide receivers and running backs, you're looking at Garrett Wilson as the top wide receiver option that likely falls. T. Higgins sometimes falls. Tyreek Hill goes at 28 overall. Total avoid for me. It really comes down to Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson. So Garrett Wilson, we'll put G. Willie right here as we decide to sort these. That is probably the top ranked wide receiver that you'll find in round 3. And MHJ will be the top. JSN's definitely in the mix here. These are probably the top 3 wide receivers that fall into round 3 on the regular. Don't like Tyreek Hill. Like Rashee Rice more at 4.1. I like Rice, though. I could put Rice here. I don't know if he'll crack the list, but we know he's right there. Worthy, yeah, that's it. We go back over to the running backs. We're talking about Bucky barely sometimes falling in. Kyren Williams probably would be number 2 overall for the third round. I think this is a player that could climb in the, like I said, as soon as the contract is announced, he'll climb like to the bottom of 2, top of 3, instead of falling to the middle of round 3. And as someone just told you, and sometimes I see it too, Kyren goes at 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. Whoever just super chatted that, I think it was Aaron, right? Aaron, who just dropped another super chat, said that he got Kyren at 4.10. Breece Hall's up there. We'll put Hall. Marion Hampton's in the mix, but I like him more in 4, so I'm going to leave him off. I think, this kind of Breece Hall, we get Breece Hall. Yeah, that kind of fits the bill there. And if we go over to the the quarterbacks, we got Josh Allen going in round 3. He typically doesn't go in 4, so we'll put Allen right here. We've got Jaden Daniels going inside 4 more often than not, so we're going to leave Jaden Daniels. So we got to now rank Allen, Garrett Wilson, MHJ, JSN, Rice, and Hall. Hall sometimes goes in 4, so I'm going to actually erase him and put Hall over here. So Hall over here, JD5 over here. We haven't ranked them yet, but they belong over there. Hurts goes over here in 4, sometimes in 5, though. Lamar, if you like Lamar goes over here as well. Lamar is definitely not a bad option. Running backs in round 4, Harvey. I'm going to go ahead and put the number 1 player I like in round 4 anyway to be Harvey. I'm just going to write it in. Harvey is my number 1 4th round player that can win you a league. So if we look at the 24, 20, okay, so we're looking at 36, 37, Breece Hall, like I said, round 4. Hampton, round 4. Hampton, Harvey, Trey Henderson goes later, so we don't need to list him. Wide receivers in round 4, we're talking about 36 on. You're looking at players like Devontae Adams, usually goes in 3 now. Can't even use him. Hunter is a wide receiver that I think is very, very deserving of a 4th round pick. Hunter. Yeah, I honestly, if Rashee Rice can fall, which is becoming a rarity. Let me write these over here so you can see him. Hunter. Let me go over to board view, so we can get this a little bit bigger. So I'll leave it like that. So Lamar, Hunter, Rice, Okay, so we're going to take Rice off here. JSN. So I'm going to rank it Bucky, Kyren, Wilson, Allen, JSN, MHJ.
Motion detected at the front door.
So 3, 4, 5. Ziggy, show me the front door. 6.
Okay.
Who's in my front door? Who's at Casa de Smitty?
Hatch node dot dead.
Ziggy off. Ziggy off. Ziggy off. No one asked you. Ziggy off. Son of a bee. So, third round, Bucky barely falls, so we're going to put a little box around him. This is not as likely to happen. Understand that. Kyren, Wilson, Allen, JSN, MHJ, boom, 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 boom. My favorite third round picks in 2025. These are league winners. Aaron Super Chat says, how much do you think Kyren is going to get? 17 to 22 million per year for 3 to 4 years. I think it could get 20. I don't know. I don't think he's getting that much. I could say something around the 14, 15, 16 potential million. Ziggy off. God, he's so bad. Sometimes I want to just take him and smash him into a bunch of pieces and say goodbye. What was I even saying? Oh, yeah, I don't know the projected amount. I don't think he can get 20 million per year. You never know, but this is probably going to be along the 15 mil area. Give or take a mil. I don't know. It's really hard to say. But he's not getting 20 million a year, I don't think. Thank you for the question, Aaron. He's going to be a monster regardless. Just getting the bag, getting the commitment is going to be the difference maker for a lot of people that have been hanging on like a thread. 177 people in the building. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumb up button. Best fourth round picks. Harvey's number 1. Number 2 is probably going to be... I'm torn between JD5. I'm going to say JD5. He belongs in the second round. It's kind of crazy and wild when you think about it. I'm going to say, let's move Rice down here. Make room. I'm going to say Breece Hall in round 4 is next. It's filthy. Because you might want to say, let's move Hunter down here just for a good measure. Hunter, so we can have room to negotiate this. It's filthy. He deserves... Hall can be a top 5 running back, yet no one has to count on even being top 10. He can be number 12 and earn 4th round value. 4th round ADP, 4.1 ADP roughly, is criminal. And when people say things like, I don't think Hall can beat it, who cares? If he disappoints me, he still earns 4.1 with ease. And if he's better, like I suggest he will be, top 5 to 10, you win a league in the 4th round. Breece Hall is an absolute smash.
Get Breece.
I think next up, Harvey's the number 1 4th rounder I want in almost every single draft. Hampton, Rice, Hurts, Lamar, Hunter. Probably say Hampton. So we got Rice over here. We got Hurts. This is kind of a grab bag here. I think we're splitting hairs by talking about Hurts, Lamar, Hunter, and Rashee Rice. And if I'm forgetting somebody that you think is worthy, let me know. I'm spitballing this. I could easily be overlooking one of my favorite players. And I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Whoa. In fact, let's cycle through the Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and Moon Men real quick, just to see if I'm forgetting something.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. They're
The Saturn men.
One small step for man, one giant leap.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Andy.
Mars men.
Hendy goes in 5, though.
Loads drop.
The moon men. Dropping loads in
I think
outer space.
I think I nailed it. So probably say this is it. You want to win a 3rd and 4th round in your league. You want your 3rd and 4th round to serve you a championship. These guys. Target these guys. Garrett Wilson, Kyren Williams, Bucky Irving. If you're so lucky, this is a box around him and a question mark, because this is very rare that you find him at the top of 3, but it happens. Josh Allen, JSN, MHJ, Harvey, JD5, Hall, Hampton, Hurts, Hunter, Lamar, Rice, kind of all a grab bag at 5. So just understand that it's definitely going to be hard to rank that crew. We got Aaron, thanks again for the super chat, my boy. And Panthers dropping one, says, what round would you draft Ted McMillan? No, I wouldn't draft him this year. Not in redraft. I'm not. I refuse to. Reason being is his ADP is way too high. His ADP has him going at around 4.4, 4.1 to 4.5, well, 4.1 to 4.7. Give me Harvey, give me JD5, give me Hall, give me Hampton, give me Hurts, Hunter, Lamar, Rice. There's just no room for a rookie that I scouted as being about 3 to 4 in the wide receiver pecking order for the incoming rookies before the draft. The landing spot's nice, and I like Ted McMillan. I'm not saying he can't. That might sound like I don't like Ted McMillan. I like Ted McMillan. I think in a best case scenario, he can be T. Higgins valuable. I don't think he'll ever be better than T. Higgins. That is a top 30 overall player. T. Higgins goes in the 3rd round. So I'm giving Ted McMillan possible respect of 3rd round eventual value, but that's if everything goes right. And I see a lot of glaring holes in his game that I need to see fixed before I'm going to start. It's not about not wanting him. It's not about not drafting him if his ADP was solid and correct. But when you're staring at Ted McMillan over Harvey, JD5, Hall, Hampton, Hurts, Lamar, Hunter, Rice, no. So there's no 4th round scenario I'm drafting Ted McMillan. Tedero McMillan, if he fell to round 6, I'd take him. I don't even think I'd take him in 5, because some of these guys can linger into 5. And I'd take Hendy over Tet every single time, and Hendy is always available when Tet is on the board. So there is literally 0 chance I could ever draft Ted McMillan unless I'm auto drafting, because of his ADP, not because I don't like him. His ADP is ridiculous. It reminds me of how high everybody was on Michael Pittman Jr. and Waddle and Deontay Johnson. It's like, what are we doing? Jacoby Myers. It's a cult following, and it's somebody wanting to get an edge, and they're loud, and they're telling everybody. It's not that Tet can't be good. It's about ADP. That's what it's about. So that is my board, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the boys. Dial into the show.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I'm playing the Denny voicemail and I'm not getting any audio. So it looks like we might have to roll with the speaker. Let's see if we got any audio action. Let's see if we can fix this. Audio.
Lock. So I want to start on that one. All right. You're right, Smitty. 30 Lock.
Okay, audio should be good. Phone lines are open. Dial in. Thank you for the super chat so far, Chrissy, Just Jay, Aaron Swan with the 20, Aaron Swan again, and Panthers 24. Appreciate you. All right, hit me with the phone calls. Dial in. Let's talk about all of this stuff right here. Hit me with it. Hit me with your best shot, and we'll attack Fantasy Football 2025 to the best of our ability for the next, I don't know how long we'll be here. Another hour, potentially. Another half hour. I don't know. Kind of play it by ear based on the phone calls and super chats and engagement, and then we'll be back no matter what tonight at midnight Eastern. But let's start having some conversation around these players. Who here do you feel you love the most of this group? Who do you feel has the least chance of disappointing in the group of round 4 guys, in the group of round 3 guys? And then this one super chat, then I'll hit the phone line. This super chat's from BBQ. Appreciate BBQ. BBQ is a straight up savage. After a few down weeks, can you trade for T-Mac? That's not a bad idea. That is where his ADP gets adjusted, right? His adjusted cost of entry after a draft. People are taking Ted McMillan like what's a vehicle you drive off the lot and you lose like 10K immediately? Probably a Tesla because of the fact that they lower the prices. That's not a knock on Tesla. I like Tesla, but if you were to drive a Tesla off the lot and then all of a sudden they do these things where they're like, okay, it's 10 grand less starting tomorrow, and they sell it, and you're like, no, like that's one thing you don't want to. You're not there to trade those in. Another vehicle, I don't know. What's another vehicle? A Mercedes, I guess. You take a high-end vehicle off the lot, 2, 3, 4 grand go down immediately. Any vehicle? Not really. Toyota holds real well. 4Runners, they hold real well. A Saturn, yeah, that could be the case. Thank you, BBQ. But yeah, so you drive T-Mac off the lot on draft day, he plummets in value. So if he struggles in the first month of football, you could now get him at the correct pricing. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Favorite rookie tight end, Frost? Probably Fanning Jr. If we're talking just in general, who's my favorite tight end? All right, Justin, you're live. Hello.
Yeah, to back up your Ted McMillan point, even if he was like really, really good, for him to satisfy a 39 overall ADP, like that would mean that like the offense would have to be really, really, and even if he was really, really good, that doesn't necessarily satisfy like the amount of touchdowns he might need, if that makes sense. Because like George Pickens is number 2 in his offense, and he might get more touchdowns than Ted McMillan.
Oh, I draft Pickens over Ted McMillan every day. That's the problem. Like, where's Ted McMillan going? Not in the same round that George Pickens is going. And if I had Ted McMillan and someone said, hey, I'll give you George Pickens for Ted McMillan after the draft, fair market value says I should be asking for more, right? Because George Pickens isn't going in round 4. Ted McMillan is for some dumb reason, but George Pickens is going later. But if someone approached me after the draft and said, I'm not giving you more, take it or leave it, and I might not trade him at all if you don't take it, I'm just going to take it. I don't care if it looks bad right after the draft. I would rather have George Pickens over Ted McMillan by a country mile. The number 2 in Dallas is going to get fed way more than the number 1 in Carolina, in my opinion, from an overall perspective. Not saying you can't get an Adam Thielen treatment, where Thielen got a lot of targets, but he's still there. There's still Leggett. There's still a lot of mouths to feed. It's not like Ted McMillan just is the only show in town, and they have to just pepper him with targets. He could be brought along very slowly. Not to mention, keep in mind the identifiable things that I talked about before the NFL draft, that this guy doesn't do well with contact off the line of scrimmage. If he's getting manhandled downfield, he tends to shut down. I'm not saying he's not good in jump ball situations. I'm not saying he isn't good across the middle of the field sometimes. I'm not saying he doesn't bring a lot of strengths to the table. I'm not saying he can't improve on all of his weaknesses and become a straight up monster, but it's not somebody that I thought was right out of the box ready to rumble like Igbuka. Igbuka is the most NFL ready receiver in the draft class, probably even more than Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter just has more upside and leads more talent than anybody in the draft practically. So you can assume he'll pick things up quick. This guy is a ability to morph into anything he wants. He could probably play quarterback if he wanted to. He's so talented. But the most out of the box ready NFL player in the league at the wide receiver position was Igbuka, and it wasn't even close, bro. It wasn't even close. And you know who's better and more prepared than Ted McMillan by a country mile as well? Luther Burden. So Luther Burden's my third ranked wide receiver rookie before the draft and after, hasn't changed. Igbuka's my number 2 before the draft, after, hasn't changed. Travis Hunter's 1 across all formats. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he's greener, at the position. None of it matters. And he's not even greener at the position, but a lot of people are going to say he is, and I don't care what anybody says. It's going to be the year of, I think, surprises in the top of this wide receiver class. It's deemed very, very much a weaker wide receiver class in general, but I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with how good Burden, Igbuka, and Travis Hunter are in terms of fitting into the wide receiver, future. And I think people will be very excited that this thing is going in the direction it's going to be going in. All right, Travis, real quick, or I'm sorry, Justin, real quick, and then I'm going to move over to the other caller, but you can mute and stay on the phone. What else you got, Justin?
I don't got anything for now.
Okay.
I'm about to hop off the line. I'm linking up with this girl, man. I'll catch you later.
All right, bro. We'll see you later. Good luck with that. And if we don't hear from you tonight, we'll know things went well. See you later, Justin. Thank you. Bruce, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, I got 2 people on my list that I don't know if they'll ever make your list. Well, they should make your list. Chase Brown and Jackson Smith Enigma.
Enigma. Not Enigma. He's not a mystery. He's very, very well known. Call him JSN. JSN is on my list, bro. He's right here.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah. And Chase Brown's on. Chase Brown's too. If Chase Brown falls to, I'll put him here. If Chase Brown falls to this 4th round, I'll put him in this box. He very rarely. Well, no, I mean he very rarely needs to go in 3. Sometimes it depends on the format, but I'd say Chase Brown at 4 is fine. Is he my favorite? Do I like these guys better? A little bit. Doesn't mean I don't love Chase Brown. I just think that now we're having to pay the cost that we knew he would get to, and people are still wanting to rush to it after the fact. I'm not saying it's not a value, but I think that he's in this mix. I would just put him. I'll put him where Travis Hunter is. Kind of. There's some questions, but there's tons of upside. I think Rice. There's questions, tons of upside. So very much Chase Brown, Hunter, and Rice are in the same bucket of high upside. Still a significant amount of risk, but not enough to run from it. And 4, it's still great value. Hurts, Lamar are probably the safer stronghold picks in this last bucket, but JSN's right here. JSN all day. I'll even write it bigger for some reason you couldn't see it. JSN.
Yeah, I couldn't say it. I was like, oh my! I was like, where is he?
Yeah, no, he's a 3rd rounder. He's a great first drafted wide receiver from round 3. If you're going, let's say, robust RB. What else you got, Bruce?
I did end up getting my mom's things for you.
What things? Her favorite picks.
Yeah.
Okay. What are Miss Robison's favorite picks this year?
That no matter what, she sees Penix and Nix both finishing in the top 10.
I like that. And I agree that it's very, very possible. Penix Jr. to the moon, Bo Nix to the moon. Bo Nix is in my 6 to 10. Penix Jr.'s 6 to 12. I only give him that 6 to 12 range just because it's such a close group. But I would say I think both these guys have the capability of being top 8. They have the capability of being top 8. Really hard to fit everybody in. It is what it is. But you have guys like Fields and Kyler who run a lot. Maybe they get banged up. Those are the things. Baker, probably does well again. Stafford's going to have, probably a bigger year than he normally has. You got a lot of different quarterback, situations that are just freaking awesome. I mean, JD 5, Josh Allen, Lamar, Hurts, Burrow, that's 5. Mahomes, that's 6. Bo Nix, 7. And then it's like you got 3 spots left for Dak, Fields, Kyler, Penix, Mayfield, Stafford, we said Penix. Yeah, I mean that's a lot. That's a lot of spots, you know, to try and squeeze everybody in. But it's why it's such a great depth this year for Superflex.
Yes, he ended up saying, I forget it actually made a lot of sense because we got to think a lot of that players either lost pieces or lost pieces. I think Baker, he said, finished in the top 10, and he was like, and he lost his coach.
All right. 20 gifted memberships from BBQ. Hold on, Bruce.
$50.
Yep.
Give me $50.
Drop your BBQ emoji, please. Go ahead, Bruce. Sorry. Monster.
I think she said that Baker and Golf are in the same position, as in they lost their coaches that made them. She's like, Cohen made Baker. Ben Johnson made Golf. She says, and they were in the top 10. So
Yeah.
she like,
Yeah, I got you.
They lost the guy.
Yep. Anything else, Brucey?
No, I can't think of one right now.
All right, call back if you got another one. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
All right, phone lines are open if anybody wants to dial in. We haven't heard from Denny in a while. Denny hasn't called in quite some time. I don't know where the hell Denny is. If anybody's heard from him, maybe we put up the bat signal for Denny. Where the hell is Denny? Where the hell are you, Denny? Let's see. Oh, Denny. BBQ. BBQ is our new official Batman of the channel. BBQ, please find Denny with some of your mojo. Let's see how good he is at doing this. Let's see if he can find Denny just by putting it out there into the ether. Go ahead, Bruce. You had something else?
Yeah, I just remembered it. If the Steelers did trade for Jonnu Smith, what do you think they would do with Pat Fireman?
Nothing. I mean, they're not going to be able to trade him. Hey, we don't need him. Anybody want this guy? I don't think they're trading. I mean, I don't think they're trading for him. If they did, there probably is a reason why they're doing it. Maybe Freiermuth is disappointing right now. Maybe he's banged up. I don't know. I don't think they're just going to be able to trade him, though. We'll see. But I wouldn't expect it. Denny Dimes. Denny Dimes. Denny, you have failed this city, Denny, until you return. All right.
Yeah, that was the one question I had for myself, and I forgot all about it.
Yeah. All right, Bruce. Appreciate you. Call back if you got another. Denny, you have failed. Denny Dimes, you have failed this city. All right, let's hit these. Let's hit these super chats. We got BBQ with another super. Says after a few down week. Oh, I already read that one. Thank you for that super chat. BBQ with another super chat because he's such a monster. People are setting the MHJ expectation on T-Mac. Did we learn nothing from last year? Smitty is right. The ADP cost is way too high. And I don't know that I'd even necessarily say that we need to be worried about anyone's ADP because, of somebody else. But I just think that the signs weren't there for MHJ to disappoint, to be honest. So I don't know how much I'd link the two together. But I do think that the evidence is clear. You should be erring on the side of caution with Ted McMillan, who has a lot of value at the right cost of entry, but expecting 4-round value, expecting the 4th round return in value is reckless. Absolutely straight reckless. There's no room for error. So yeah, it's wild. But I do not want the MHJ topic necessarily tied to him because I don't think there was a mistake done there. I don't think MHJ was a mistake. I think it just happened the way it happens. Some things don't land right away. For the 4th overall pick, what players are you aiming at? I mean, depends. It depends is it wide receiver heavy? Is it running back heavy? If it's running back heavy, then I'm taking Bijan or Gibbs with a smile. I try to avoid Barkley if I can over those two, just because of the carry totals and the likelihood of injury. If I'm picking 4th overall and there's a real good chance it's wide receiver heavy, like in best ball, I'm taking CeeDee Lamb. And if I think I could get Bucky and Kyren with my 2nd and 3rd round pick, I'm fine going Lamb even in a somewhat balanced running back wide receiver heavy environment. I love the CeeDee Lamb, Bucky, Kyren all day long. But there is a league that I play in every year that's very running back heavy, and I know I'm going to get Garrett Wilson in 3 guaranteed. I know I'll probably even get MHJ in 4 instead of 3, and then I can get Debo in 7. And so I'd rather just draft those 3 wide receivers and go running back in that format. But when I play in best ball at 4, I traditionally go JJ or Lamb over Gibbs and Bijan. So you got to know your league. You got to know what tendencies people are bringing to the table, because you can predict where the advantage is going to be. You can predict driving against traffic. If you can predict driving against traffic, you can dominate your draft. That is probably the fantasy football 101 if I had to break it down. Know your league, and it sounds cliche. Know your league doesn't mean just know your scoring. It means know your league. If they're running back heavy, you can drive against traffic in the right way. You can follow suit with it too, like drafting RB. But if you think you can get Kyren and Harvey and Hendy, then you can go against traffic. You just got to know your league. Dynasty wide receiver, JJ, Neighbors, Hunter, Rashee Rice, running back for Rice. Dynasty wide receiver, JJ, Neighbors, Hunter, Rashee Rice, running back for Rice. Okay. Harvey or Hendy all day long. And they're pretty undervalued, so you might be able to pull that off if you can't throw in a 2nd rounder. I mean, I'd go after those 2 players most of all. Hampton might be harder to get because people really like Hampton. I'm not saying they don't like Harvey and Hendy but not as much, so it's a little easier. Bucky or Kyren fit the bill as well. If you can back Kyren up, I'd take Kyren over Rice in your situation if I could get Jarquez Hunter. Get Corum too and practice squad one or both of them though. PPR Superflex Dynasty 5.5 tight end premium, 6 points per passing TD. Traded 2.6 plus a 26 first for JJ. 4.5. Maximum, I don't know what you're saying here. Traded 2.6 plus 26 first for JJ. Okay, 2 separate trades. Then a 3.8 and a 4.5 for Genty. So this is a startup. Okay, so I'm assuming startup draft. Traded 2.6 and a 26 first for JJ. So the 2nd round pick in a startup, I'm assuming. Genty, so then a 3.8 and a 4.5 for Genty plus a 6.9. Team is Chase, JJ, Genty. Do I still go BPA or target a QB? You always go BPA, Maximum. You always, but QB need right now, depending on who is left, will be your best player available most likely. If Mahomes is there, then he's the best player available most likely. If it's Bo Nix, it might be, but kind of depends on what's available. I doubt Mahomes is there, but if he is, you'd have to give me a list of players. There's no way best player available is always going to guide you, but your team needs will shape best player available. But you got to give me a list of guys that are available. I can't tell you to go a position. You're asking me to tell you to go a position versus a player. I don't know the players. I can't tell you. You got to give me a list. Auction league, keep 3. Rice $28, Higgins $25, Neighbors $37, Jaden Daniels $16, BT $15, Puka $21. Team won the championship. Would you consider throwing Neighbors back in since he will go for 55 to 60, draining someone's money? Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about it. That's not a good way to look at things, because you worry about other people at all. You're doing things for them, and these moves never line up the way you think they're going to line up. Don't worry about that. Let's just make the right picks. No one else's team is relevant to you making the best decisions here. Auction league, keep 3. I go Neighbors 37. That's a hell of a steal. I probably go as much as I want. If it's not a super flex, I don't see super flex anywhere. If it's super flex, JD5 is by far and away the best pick in it. But that $16 price tag, it makes me assume it's 1 QB. If it's super flex, JD5 without a hesitation. It's the best pick in fantasy, period, at $16. But it's probably not the case. So I'm going to throw JD5 back only because you can still get like a Mahomey or something, or just get him back. I think, let me just look. Neighbors. You're probably better off going Neighbors, Puka, and BTJ. And then you're going to buy Mahomes later. Don't call him out early. Let everybody spend their money. And then you either get Nix and Penix Jr. or you get Nix and Kyler or whatever. But I'd probably try and get Mahomes and just let everybody spend money as much as possible. Not a super flex, yeah. But you got to go, like, think about it. Are you drafting JD5 over... You're probably not draft. I mean, you could draft Daniels in the second round in this, if you're drafting and not auctioning. But in auction, it's different. Like auction draft, JD5 even today, just like Josh Allen and any quarterback, is not going to go above $25, $30. But in an auction draft today, BTJ goes for 60 or 70. In an auction draft today, Puka goes for 60 or 70. So doesn't that tell you that the better values are with Puka, BTJ, and Neighbors, all of which you couldn't afford, whereas you could afford JD5? So those usually answer the questions for you, like who is going to be cheaper. That's an amazing trio, yeah. BT, Puka, Neighbors. Bro. BBQ, if you get Mahomes, Harvey, Hendy, Kyren, or Breece Hall, and Breece Hall, you have so much money, bro. You get Kyren, Harvey, and Hendy with Neighbors, BTJ, and Puka. It's over, bro. It's over. They don't stand a chance. That's crazy. Woo! All right, hit me with your phone calls, everybody. Phone line's open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
That's crazy, man. But those are no-brainer decisions, bro. You can't take JD5 because of the auction dollar draft value. I would say, like, in a mid-season trade, JD5 will be worth a top 15 overall pick. Like, you'd need to trade a top 15 overall player that would be a top 7 wide receiver to get JD5 in a dynasty format. Like, but the cost of entry, the value, the way you'd build your team, the amount of money you'd have to spend getting another receiver back versus the quarterback, JD5, you might have to spend 25, 27. So you're increasing that $16 amount by like $10, $11, $12 by buying JD5 back. But you throw in, let's say, Puka, you're going to have to overspend by about $40 to $50 to get Puka back. So that's the difference. Not that their values aren't equivalent after the fact, but in building terms, just like in draft terms, do you keep JD5 as a 5th round keeper or Puka as a 5th round keeper? Puka by a mile, because of the redraft factor. The fact that you can, when you do redraft the available players, JD5 has a much later value on draft day. After the draft, though, it's all fair game. After the draft, JD5's value goes up tremendously where it should be. But on draft day, you can steal them away. Bruce, you're live.
I got one for you, Smitty.
All right.
You know how when we looked at RB, we look at Kamara, right? With Payton, the Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Now, when we look at Evan Ingram, can we look at Jimmy Graham and say we kind of expect like Jimmy Graham?
A little bit. I mean, look, Evan Ingram's already a breakout for us. We love him. So, yeah, I mean, Sean Payton using him is kind of a Joker type role. That's very, very, very likely. But now that Harvey's there, Harvey will also play the Joker role in the offense. And for those that don't know the Joker terminology, the Joker is the do-it-all player. Not a Swiss Army knife, no master of one thing, but good at everything. I'm not talking about that. He can be a master at everything and do everything well, like, and better than anybody. That Joker doesn't necessarily limit upside at any one thing. But yeah, I think Harvey's a Joker. I think Ingram was brought in to be partially a Joker type role, and you're gonna see him implement the tight end position, the running back position, the quarterback position, everything similar to his style. But he does morph. He does have the ability to do different things with different personnel. But this is Sean Payton. We know what Sean Payton is.
Yeah, because I remember us always talking about like the Kamara expectations or what he did for Kamara, and I know we were high on Ingram, and I'm like, well, look at what he did for Jimmy Graham. I was like, I might want something like that.
Well, that's why we talk up. I don't know if you've been here for it, but that's why we talk up Ingram all the time.
Oh yeah. I've been here.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you could
for sure
have him like, hey, that guy.
Yeah. All right, Bruce. Appreciate you.
All right.
Later, bro. Yeah, Ingram, top 5 to 7 potential. I want him over Kyle Pitts. I want him over probably standalone Mark Andrews, really, quietly. Would I rather have Mark Andrews and Likely together over Ingram? Yes, I would. Smitty, how you approach a keeper league drafting without a first-round pick? No. In a 1 QB, I probably just try and, it doesn't change. You got to take the best player of it. You can't not take nothing changes. You almost have to go lighter quarterback. I guess the way I look at it is you're going to try and smash every pick you can, and then instead of using one of those top 4 or 5 round picks on a QB, if Mahomes fell to 6-7, I probably would pounce on it. But if quarterbacks go a little early, you kind of have to use that. Can you get the most out of Kyler and Penix Jr. or Nix and whatever, and then make up for that, and then where you might take Josh Allen or Hurts, you're grabbing a Hampton or a JSN or something like that. Yeah, you probably have to do something crafty at tight end and quarterback to try and make up for it. Watch the Dynasty show this morning. Awesome content, great nuggets of info. Learned so much. Hope you do more. Definitely, the Dynasty content now lives on the main channel. There's no more Dynasty channel. The Dynasty channel has become, I renamed it. It's not going away. I renamed it Fantasy Football Unplugged. So make sure you stay subscribed to it. If you already subscribed to the old Dynasty channel, you're still subscribed to this channel. But please hit the link in the description of the video where it says Unplugged, Fantasy Football Unplugged. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. It's the behind the scenes channel for this brand, where we're doing Denny phone calls after hours where he calls in and I pick up. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's Smitty. Like, just anything that's behind the scenes. You're going to love it. I promise you. It's morphing into an amazing, vlog type experience. And all the intern shows, the sitcom that I have, will be on Fantasy Football Unplugged. Make sure you're subscribed, link in description. And if you're already subscribed via the Dynasty channel, old channel, then you're good. But all the Dynasty content, and this doesn't mean that I'm just going to talk Dynasty on the main show here. I'm doing Dynasty uploads, Dynasty live streams, and you'll be able to find everything on the, let's see if I can. So if you go to my YouTube channel, and you're going to see you're going to see this row right here. It says all videos. So this is all my videos in a row. Any video, live stream, or upload in a row consecutively, you find them all there. The second row, which currently says NFL rookies, that is down below now. The second row will probably always be the Dynasty row. So any new Dynasty content will always be found on row number 2. It'll be very, very easy to understand what time it is going to my YouTube homepage. I vow to make it the most useful YouTube homepage you could find, because you'll have all those categories on the homepage on different rows: waiver wire, trade advice, ADP, etc., etc. BBQ, appreciate you. $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
My boy. My boy. BBQ to the moon. Seriously, BBQ is just a straight up savage. A super chat savage. Kruger. What's Kruger calling? BBQ the Maverick? Let's see if he remembers. Hey Kruger, what did you nickname BBQ? He's continuing to drop super chats like a complete monster.
You nicknamed BBQ Maverick. He's been absolutely crushing it with those super chats, really setting the bar high for everyone else.
You named him the membership Maverick, not me. But we like it. We love it. He is a Maverick. He continues to drop it, just like New Age Outlaw, just like Ron Navy. Who is who's the next 4th best super chatter or contributor to this show?
Got it. So we've got Maverick BBQ at the top, New Age Outlaw right up there with him, and Ron Navy holding strong. For the 4th best contributor, I'd say Silver Rapture.
Real Silver Rap. Whoa. Hold on. We'll go back to that in a second. I like the way this guy talks. But Ron Navy's probably won over time. Not that BBQ's not catching him in New Age, but Ron has dropped the highest super chat of the show history with $1,001. So let's keep Ron at the top spot. The guy's a monster. But go ahead and repeat what you're going to say about 4. Number 4. Give me 4 and 5.
Absolutely. Ron Navy's legendary $1,001 super chat definitely keeps him at the top spot. He's a monster supporter. For number 4, Silver Rapture is a long-time loyalist. And rounding out the top 5, I'd say Rockout deserves a mention for being consistently active and supportive.
Wow. What about Travis as the kind of the moderator in chief? You got to keep Travis in the mix. Right.
Absolutely. Travis, the moderator-in-chief, is a crucial part of the mix and a huge contributor to the community. He definitely deserves recognition for all his hard work and dedication.
Yeah. Don't forget Travis. All right, let's get back to everything. This question here is from let's see here. Nico. Nico says, "Is this live?" Nope, this is a replay, Nico. I'm sorry you missed the live stream, but make sure you check back next time when we're live. That way you can ask a question live. Hit me with the Kruger glazing. Hit me with the next question, and don't forget, phone lines are here.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Do it live. Best 3rd round picks in fantasy, according to my calculation. Spitballing it. Reserve the right to change my mind. 4th round. Bucky's very rare, but it happens. Bucky's gone Kyren. Imagine getting Bucky, Kyren, and Harvey in rounds 2, 3, and 4. You know? Bucky, Kyren, Harvey, Lamb, or something like that. Phone caller, you are live from the 50 or 609. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Smitty at eating.
What's up?
I'm trying to figure out how much of my draft capital I can mortgage in Dynasty. I've been moving all it up and down the board. I was wondering what your thought of that is for startups and trading around, trying to jump up.
So what were you trying to figure out how much or what?
Yeah, how much I can jump up, because I'm already traded up for the 7th overall pick, traded up for the second 2.1. But now my next pick is the 5.8 and the 6.5. I'm wondering how much more I should just be jumping up, or should I just let the cards fall where they are?
I mean, it depends, man. It depends who's there. If you're not going to get Harvey and he's sitting there, it's worth a ton. If you can't get Mahomes unless you move up, and now you can have Mahomes versus having a quarterback that's under those guys, I move up. It just really depends on the board. It depends on the board.
Looking at the quarterbacks that are probably available in my range, will be Purdy, McCarthy, Penix, Bryce Young.
I like Penix the most, by far.
So just stay past
Bo Nix is gone, obviously. Bo Nix is gone. Dak gone. Dak and Penix would be a great combo.
Yeah, Dak's at 76, so he's in that same range. Yeah.
Okay, so
you'll probably get him.
I'd be good with Dak and Penix Jr., but yeah, Mahomes would have been worth a significant move up just for me, especially in a dynasty.
I moved up a lot, Ben, but I super chatted that.
You moved up a lot, what?
For Genty, but I super chatted that too.
Yeah.
Moved up a lot for Genty.
But you asked me when is enough, and I'm saying Mahomes would have been worth it to me to move up. A lot more. But yeah, I mean, it just depends. Look, you kick the can down the road. It's called. Hold on, let me merge this call. Hold on. Hang tight, real quick, my boy. I'm going to put you on hold. All right. So, yeah, it depends. If you could mute yourself, 620 caller, please, just because you got a lot of background noise. Okay, call back when you're ready. 609. I would say. I'm sorry. Heating. This is heating. Yeah, I would say, I would have given up a lot to move up there, but I like what you got. It sounds like you're doing really, really good. But kicking the can down the road's a nice process, because you just take, you basically, like you say, if you're sitting there at 5.8, for example, and you want to move to 5.1, and you're trading your 8th rounder, you're like, I'll give you my 8th rounder for free. It's like, damn, man, you're losing an 8th rounder, but
okay. And the smaller jumps up that way.
Well, then when you jump up, then when you get to the next hole, you're trading your 9th and 10th rounder for an 8th rounder, or a 7.10, and it's like, it sucks you're losing picks. But then you get to a point where people don't want to trade with you anymore, and everyone's uncomfortable with what you're doing. They laugh at what you're doing at first, but then it gets really uncomfortable because you're crushing it. And then you trade your 10th and 11th
but I got that 3-headed monster.
Yeah, you trade your 10th and 11th for a 9th, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, what in the hell? You got no depth though. But you do, because you've moved your depth up. You're just losing. At the end of the day, you look at it and you've got, 10 picks in the first 7 rounds. So really, you've lost your 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 5 picks in a row. You are literally not drafting for 5 rounds in a row, but it's starting when it doesn't even matter. So that's called kicking the can down the road. But you have to continue to do it in order to get out of the danger zone. So, Mahomes would have been perfect.
Then I'm going to up that.
Yeah. You gotta be able to keep doing it, though. All right, bro. Later. That other caller wants to try and call back. They can, but BBQ with the $20. BBQ John with the $20. We got back-to-back 20s. We got crossing of streams, doubles at the same time. Oh my!
$50. Give me $50,
man. I love when 2 super chats of $20 cross streams like that at the same time. It's glorious. Let me get to this caller real quickly, and then I'll jump on these. 620. What's up? What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm from Wichita, Kansas.
What's up, Caden? Sorry I had to hang up on you. You had the show in the background and it was reverbing out. But go ahead. What can I do for you?
Yeah, all good. I just had a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey, I know you are openly not a huge this year. If you knew for a fact he was going to play 17 games, do you think he would be a top 5 running back?
If I knew I was going to have a tail, would I get a standing desk instead of the sitting desk? I mean, bro, the thing is, you're asking me something that that changes the course of every line of thinking we have around the topic and situation. Like, of course, if he played every game and didn't miss any time, sure. And I would cuff him to Guerrero anyway, because I don't trust the source. But the truth is,
I'm referring to like the best ball side of things. Like I take him all the time in Best Ball Mania because I feel like it's dangerous to fade him in that kind of format.
But why is it dangerous to fade him when you have to fade somebody else that's less likely to get injured? I get it that in best ball you could cuff him to Guerrero and get Jordan Mason. It's very doable. I've done it before. I'm not gonna lie. I've drafted a Christian McCaffrey, Guerrero, Jordan Mason team, and I didn't really hate it. But that's best ball. Best ball is completely different. I'm more okay with this line of thinking in best ball. I am not okay with it in non-best ball at all. So there is a world where I'm drafting Henry and CMC at a small clip, not a lot, very, very small amount, but I'm not suggesting people in non-best ball go near Christian McCaffrey because I would rather cuff Guerrero and Jordan James together and have them together on the bench like our Guerrero Mason approach last year. I mean, this channel told everyone from the rooftops we screamed, don't go near Christian McCaffrey last year. Grab Jordan Mason and Isaac Guerrero together. Everybody laughed at us. Anybody that implemented it said, Smitty, I did it and my league laughed at me. Good for them. Let's revisit in November. We did, and it helped a lot of people win leagues. I think that same concept in... Huh?
I said, I do have to give you credit completely. It's not the McCaffrey thing, but definitely your Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix take. You were spot on with that. I won't lie.
Thank you. But I think that, you're asking me to, you're basically calling me up today to say, hey, if I could promise you Christian McCaffrey's going to stay healthy, you can't do that. So like, what's the question really about? Like, if you promised me Derrick Henry wouldn't get hurt this year, I'd take him in the top 5. But like, that's not a world that we can live in. So where is it going to help anybody or you? How is that going to help you? Are you just wanting me to admit that if he stayed healthy, their talent could still be in there? Because the truth is, you're telling me they cured his bilateral chronic Achilles tendonitis if he plays every game. Or there is a scenario where he plays half-time all year long. Or what if your scenario, like you make a wish in a genie bottle and you don't say it right, and you end up having, you turn into a frog? Like, what if you tell me that, and then he plays every game, but he really gets a couple carries for like 5 straight weeks because he goes out there, still doesn't feel right, but he played. If you tell me he plays 80% of the running back snaps for 17 straight games, maybe I could get in this, fairy tale world and answer that question. But bro, you're asking me to answer something that is really just, pixie dust. Fairy tale type.
Yeah, no, I understand the take on that. I don't know. I mean, his injury last year was not tendonitis from that.
Right. Isn't that more concerning than anything then? Why? So the bilateral Achilles tendonitis
for a running back.
Okay, but the bilateral Achilles tendonitis took him out for a majority of the year. He comes back and tears his PCL. Not completely, but you don't even know how bad his PCL is. And the reason I say that is when you tear your PCL, bro, if you just have your PCL and your ACL are in the middle of your knee on this model, you can find it by looking at the back of it, but they are in the center of the knee. They cross each other. The ACL and the PCL kind of serve the same purpose of keeping the knee joint tight, right? They pull on it. Your LCL is on the outside. Your MCL is on the other side. And so if you didn't have a PCL and LCL, let's take them out of the knee, then all of a sudden you have just the MCL and LCL with no PCL and MCL pulling the joint tight. So your knee sliding around on this meniscus, just grinding it down, just ripping it to shreds. So if you don't have a PCL, it controls one way. So an ACL controls it. When you pull on the ACL, like there's a test that they do. You sit on a bench like this, and they grab your knee joint, they tell you to relax, and they pull on your knee like that. And if there's a lot of lax there, they know the ACL's gone. That's how you can test on the field and say your ACL's torn. Without even any sort of imaging, you can know for a fact that someone tears an ACL just by pulling on it like that. So So that's that way. The PCL helps it from sliding the other way. So my point is that Christian McCaffrey tearing his PCL, but not tearing it completely, means that he had it has to tighten up. There could be a little bit of lax there that when he cuts, he could tear the whole thing. So I don't know. I'm not saying he has that. I'm just saying for a older player that has been a percentage of his offense more than any other player in the history of the NFL at the running back position. This guy's been worked into the ground. He's missed half of his career essentially and played half of his career. When he's played, he's been amazing. Okay, but we've now had 2 years of great play, and now it seems like the guy is going to be on track to miss the other 2 years like he's kind of rotating doing. He's older. He can't seem to stay away from knee injuries. Christian McCaffrey kept suffering knee injuries all year, or was having nagging knee injuries for the last 2 years, but he stayed on the field. Somehow has managed to play a majority, but he's always struggling with an injury or two with his knees. His knees were always kind of a problem. The one thing about knee injuries is they don't get better, bro. They only get worse. So.
Oh no, I ruptured my patella tendon about a year and a half ago. I understand how that. It takes a little bit to recover for sure.
And your patellar, your patellar tendon, though, just to let you know, that's an exterior knee injury, though. That's not an internal knee injury. So it's not even like if he had ruptured his patellar tendon before, that wouldn't concern me long term as much as interior injury. Like Rashee Rice tore his LCL, which is an exterior knee injury. When I tore my patellar tendon, and I asked my ER doctor, because they do immediate surgery. Didn't you have immediate surgery on it? Immediate.
Yeah.
Immediate. They don't wait. Patellar tendons, you have immediate surgery because the patellar tendon specifically will shrink, and the more time you give it, the more you'll have to stretch it out, and then you have a problem of trying to get the right bend, and then it's tight or it's too loose. You have to have secondary surgeries. So when you tear your patellar tendon, literally within 24 hours to 48 hours, you should have your surgery. No matter how much swelling, but there's not as much swelling because it's an exterior knee injury. But exterior knee injuries are not a big deal. LCL, that's on the outside. Rashee Rice. When I tore my patellar tendon, the doctor said, hey, I tore my ACL in the other knee before. How's the ACL? He's like, I don't know. I go, what do you mean you don't know? He goes, well, based on the injury that you suffered, based on how it happened, I have no reason to believe you tore your ACL. I have no really visual evidence to it. It doesn't feel like you might have. So I'm not going to go looking. I'm like, okay. And so that's a big difference, though. In 3 months, you're kind of like jogging after weren't you jogging about 3 or 4 months after, or doing some really decent recovery? Yeah.
I was hang cleaning like 275 for like 5 months after. It didn't take me that.
Yeah, it's not.
What the timeline was.
So exterior knee injuries are not as big of a deal. That's why I'm not worried about Rashee Rice at all. It's an outside LCL, wasn't interior. ACLs, PCLs, meniscus. You're going inside the knee and you're just messing shit up. And so it causes swelling, and there's all kinds of things. You have to go back in, and it's crazy, bro. All right, anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right, man. Call back if you got another one. Thank you. CMC, yeah, stay away. All right, let me get to these super chats. These two cross-streaming $20 hauler monsters here between John and BBQ. Watch the Dynasty show. I already pulled that one on screen, didn't I? Thank you, BBQ, for that $20 hauler. John, 12-team Dynasty super flex. Start 10 PPR, 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 3 flex. So this is a Dynasty super flex. And John threw this one here. I forgot to type in those. And neighbors. Okay. So and neighbors. So you've got Penix Jr., Nico, London, Bowers, neighbors, Mims, Benches, Cousins, Milton, Braylon. Who would you draft at 1.2, 1.12, and 2.2? I'm going to get Milton at some point. Probably, I'd strongly consider, assuming like Ibuka doesn't fall or something, but I'd strongly consider at 12 and 2.2 taking Milroe and Shedeur and letting it ride with Penix Jr. and those guys versus forcing a Cam Ward. You can take Cam Ward if you really, really like him, but I can't, in my wildest dreams, imagine, especially with your RB situation, Penix, Nico, London, Bowers. Well, where's your running backs? That's why I didn't like them, because I didn't see any. Also, a Bijan and, sorry, I'm piecing together here. A Bijan and needed QB2. Yeah. So it's going to be RB for me. It's going to be Hendy or Harvey, assuming Genty's gone. If Genty's there, thank your lucky prayers. If the person that has the one needs a quarterback, make a little trade with them. Make a little itty-bitty trade. Trade one of these picks here to get that one and get Genty and go Milroe and Shador later. Will Howard as well. Go check out. I mean, yeah, I'm smashing that strategy all day long, my boy. All day long. Don, appreciate you. Maximum with the $2 hauler, appreciate you. Jamar and what's this question? Jamar and what's SU fifth? I mean SU. No one really uses that language very often in the super chat. I know I'm gonna know when you say it. Lamar and what's SU mean? SU fifth for JD5 Superflex PPR 0.5 tight end per unit 6 point per TD pass. Yeah, okay. So Jamar and what is this? I know I'm gonna be like, oh duh, but I mean I don't. No one uses SU. I've probably seen that never on the channel. So when I know it, I'll be like, oh, but I don't really know what that means. But so a fifth, Jamar and a 5th round pick. I imagine you're saying for JD5. I'd probably taken a Superflex JD5. Maybe they mean Superflex startup. Okay, startup. Okay, startup. Okay, startup. Jamar and a startup 5th for JD5. So 5th rounder. That could be Harvey though. It could be Hendy. I'd probably say, damn, chat, what do you think here? JD5 in a Superflex startup or the 5th rounder, because he's obviously on the clock, right? A 5th rounder in that startup with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going to be a mid to late 1st round pick in a Superflex startup. JD5's 1 or 2 overall. And then a 5th rounder. Jeez. Vote on that one, guys. Probably lean. I don't know. What if Penix Jr. is there in 5? What if Dak Prescott's there in 5 for some reason? Like, I don't know. Some Superflexes are crazy, bro. And they're wild. They're different. They're not usual. Like, what quarterback? Maximum, can you tell me what quarterback and what players, like Harvey, but specifically quarterbacks as well, but let me know if Harvey would be there, and then we'll answer the question. $20 hauler from Nico, dropping massive wads on screen. $20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
I know you're not there yet, bro, but Maximum, tell me who you predict to be. Is Harvey going to be there? Hendy going to be there? And what quarterback like Dak or Penix could be there? Kyler, I doubt they're there, but just let me know. So every Superflex is different. Gump, can you mute yourself, please? I'll come with you in 1 second. Ben out of the loop. Is it a good year to go late QB? It's always a good year to go best player available, Nico. And at the end of the day, I'm taking Mahomes as a late QB. He's going around 6'7". So the answer to that is yes. I go Mahomes late QB shopping all the time, and I love it. But it doesn't mean I don't do that in conjunction with the going JD5 around 4.1 if he fell. Josh Allen, all those guys are amazing. But I do tend to go Mahomes in 6'7" if I can pick a preference. But you're always going to go best player available. Never bad to go early QB. Never bad to go late QB. Nico, the guidance is who is the best player on the board. Sometimes it is JD5. Sometimes I look around and I go, I don't like any of these picks right here. I don't want to force any of these. But usually in round 3, round 4, you have Harvey. You have these guys right here. You have Bucky at the end of 2. Sometimes top of 3. You got Kyren. You've got you got Garrett Wilson. You got Josh Allen. This is my number. Jeez, my number. Round 3 and round 4 best picks in fantasy football. So traditionally, I'm trying to go Mahomes with Harvey and Kyren. I'm trying to go Mahomes in 6'7" or 5'6", whatever your league's gonna allow, and get Wilson and Harvey to get, Hall and Kyren, or Hall and Wilson, preferably Bucky and Harvey, because I've ranked them here. So I do have quarterbacks in here. Josh Allen. I do have JD5 in here. But as you can see, it just kind of matters of how they fall. But there's no yes or no answer on early quarterback. It comes down to, do you like the players around better than JD5 or not? Because if you don't and you're just forcing a wide receiver when you think JD5 is the best player on the board, you're making a grave mistake. That's why I always say best player available. I think a lot of people hear it and they sometimes don't know exactly what I mean, so I try and explain it that way. Hopefully that helps you, but don't set yourself into a plan of attack. Just be open-minded. Practice every strategy through Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. I'll drop the best ball link here. We'll be drafting tonight. Make sure you hit this link now versus trying to get in later. So hit that link and sign up so that you're not trying to scramble when we go live tonight to draft. If you're drafting every single strategy known to man, then you're ready for everything. Then you don't plan for it. And nobody should be going into a draft saying, I'm going hero RB. You should be walking out of round 5 or 6 going, that's funny. I drafted hero RB, because you're supposed to just take the picks as they come, not plan out something. Let your sub strategy, 0 RB, hero RB, early quarterback, late quarterback, let it be an afterthought once it's done. And you analyze what you did, but you practice so much that you knew what to do. 10-team PPR Superflex, Justin Jefferson plus Rashee Rice, or Neighbors plus MHJ, or JSN plus a 2026. What in the hell are we doing here? There's like 8 options here. Superflex, JJ Rashee, or Neighbors MHJ, or JSN 26 late third. Well, that last one I don't like. It's not close to the others. Neighbors MHJ. I'm probably going Rashee Rice and JJ. But it's pretty close. Pretty close. Pretty. I mean, the Neighbors one's the one that is close to it. I don't know about that JSN one. Why would that? Maybe I'm missing something on that. Rockout says check DM. I'll look in a second here, Rockout. Appreciate you. Question above, sorry. That helps me 0, Tyler. Now I got to go searching for it. Hold on. And just include it in there. All you have to do is paste it in there, Tyler. Thank you for the super chat. Best thing you do is break down the rounds and where to get them. Can you do more of that like Garrett Wilson and Jacobs? I do it all the time, Garrett or Tyler. And anytime you drop a super chat and request something, I can definitely like tell you what I like in round 5, things like that. So yes, I always do. I mean, the thing is, almost every show I pull up this board and I tell you how to smash. Look at this team. Look at this team. Lamb, Bucky, Kyren, Harvey, Pickens, Debo, Mahomey, Dak. Look at this. I mean, we pull up this board and things like this all day long. So yes, I will continue to. I'm not stopping. Nobody's stopping us from round by round breakdown. Gump, I'm almost done with the super chats. One more and then I'll come for you, pal. 1 second. E-Rock, how should the community view Chase Brown this year? I'm comfortable taking him in the mid to late second. That's no, bro. No. And I love Chase Brown, but no. He is a risky but fun 4th round pick. E-Rock, it's like you stepped away and didn't realize that a storm came and kind of changed the landscape a little. He is in the 4th round. 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, and there's risk involved, fun risk, worth it, sir. But you do not take him in the 2nd round, young man. That would be a horrible mistake, not because he can't earn it, but because you left value on the table. I'm comfortable taking him in the 2nd round. Are we worried about Taj Brooks? I'd be worried about Taj Brooks if you're taking him in round 2. You got no risk baked in there, my bro. Absolutely. And the risk of Taj Brooks are just the fact that they met with a bunch of top 30 visit running backs makes you think they want to do some things. That's why there's risk involved. But he's a 4th rounder. You stay clear away from 2nd round and even 3rd round, my boy. Not to be that guy, but gave you best player available in the chat. Maximum. Let me go look. Oh, you mean, okay, I got you. But why not paste it in there? Why not paste it in there? I don't understand. Just to clarify, Superflex Dynasty with those scoring settings, projected BPAs, T-Law, Warren, Penix Jr., Dak, and Harvey. But give me Jamar Chase. I guess give me Jamar Chase and Dak or Penix. If you think you could get Harvey and then the next round get one of Dak or Penix, then I'm even more likely to do that. Chat, do we agree that we're going with mother freaking Jamar Chase? Let's go find his super chat. I forget what the trade was now. Can the chat help me out on this one? I need your assistance here. We need to give a maximum answer here. Jamar Chase and a startup 5th rounder, which projects to be Harvey or JD5. Superflex. I don't want you to get screwed at QB though. So you might not even be able to take Harvey. If you think you can get Harvey the next pick and go like Dak or Penix to have Jamar Chase, I'd rather have Penix or Dak with Jamar Chase. Yes, that's my final answer. Let's see what the chat thinks. I love JD5, but that is a lot of value. To get Dak or Penix Jr. with Jamar Chase, I don't know that I could turn that down. I specifically want Harvey though. If you give me Harvey and Jamar Chase and I still get Dak or Penix, I'm doing that. And then sorry meant JJ side or neighbor's side and can choose between JSN. This Amid, you got to ask the question again too. This doesn't really help me. Guys, even if you have to redo it, include everything in the super chat you're sending if you can. You got to repeat it. Because then I got to go back, find it, try and piece it all together, and it'd be just easier to ask the question again. Thank you. I appreciate your super chat, though. Let me see if I can find it. 10 team PPR Superflex. Let me see here. Yeah, just re-ask the question, because now I got to take this as an equation and figure it out. All right, here we go. So we got Superflex Justin Jefferson plus Rashee Rice or Neighbors. Ah, gotcha. So JJ plus Rashee Rice or Neighbors. This is like asking, do I include Rashee Rice or Neighbors in this trade? Is like asking, do you include a $10 bill or a $100 bill? I love Rashee Rice, but JJ and Neighbors is crazy. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. This is where you confuse me. Justin Jefferson plus Rice or Neighbors. You got to say JJ or Neighbors plus Rice. You're doing this completely out of order. So, okay. Plus MHJ or... This is so freaking confusing, bro. It's easier if you just ask each question. Superflex, Justin Jefferson or Neighbors plus Rashee Rice. I still don't know because you're saying Neighbors plus MHJ here or JSN plus 26 third rounder. Amid, can you call? It'd be a lot easier if you just called the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I don't know what's being said here. Sorry, meant JJ's side or Neighbor's side, and can choose between JSN or MHJ on Neighbor's side. I'm pretty versed in this, but I'm confused as hell. So I'd say either re-ask it in a very clear way versus trying to piece together everything, or dial in real quick and we'll take care of you and we'll smash it out. John, trade the 1.2 for Bucky. I'd rather have Bucky, but it is close. I love Harvey, Hendy, and Hunter that much, but I'm taking Bucky. I get Buckied, bro. I get Buckied all day long. Amid, is this you, pal?
Yeah, how's it going?
Am I saying your name right? Am I saying your name right, Amid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
All right. Tell me what we're doing here.
Yes. So, okay, I guess I'll phrase that poorly.
That's right.
Justin Jefferson plus Rashee Rice, or it's Neighbors plus MHJ or JS, like one of those two, plus the third, like on that too. So it's just JJ Rice or Neighbors plus MHJ JSN, whichever you like more, and the third. That makes sense.
All right, let's do one at a time. Can we do one at a time? Read it one at a time, bro. JJ and what for what? Let's see. Good God.
So, JJ and Rice is
okay.
One.
Stop. Pause. JJ and Rice for what? What are you asking me? JJ and Rice for what?
For Neighbors and MHJ or JSN, like either one of those. with neighbors.
Okay.
Like one of them with neighbors.
Okay, so Nate,
A third round pick.
JJ, hold on. I'm gonna write it down. Hold on a second. Let me just move this over to this board. Okay, so JJ and Rice.
Yeah.
For Neighbors and MHJ.
Yeah.
And I can if I want to, I could swap MHJ out for JSN.
JSN, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Neighbors, JJ Rice, Neighbors, MHJ. Well, I want JJ over Neighbors, I guess, in for safety, but I do believe Neighbors could be better. But both have questionable QB situations. Neither one of them I'm fully convinced that it, I think I probably say, you know what? Longevity, give me the Neighbors MHJ side. I want to start over. I know JJ's not an old man, but he's also not exactly a spring chicken either. Give me Neighbors and MHJ. I believe in MHJ. Rice and MHJ are close anyway. Okay, and then so what's the other alternative?
So instead of MHJ, it could be JSN. So it would be the same thing, just Neighbors and JSN.
Okay, so I guess you're gonna ask me, do I like JSN or Neighbors more? Would be the only thing. JSN safer. MHJ is definitely more risk because JSN's delivered, MHJ is not. But I believe MHJ could be better than JSN. It's just it's riskier. So I think if you want safety, go JSN. If you want high risk, high reward, and you're okay with sleeping that night with that, then go with the MHJ side.
Okay, so I already have the Neighbors side, so I'm just like got offered.
Then I'm waiting. Then I'm not doing it. What about MHJ? You have MHJ and JSN then, right?
Yeah.
What about both of those for JJ or something?
Interesting.
So you go get JJ.
In a 10 team.
MHJ, yeah, especially in a 10 team, and JSN. And then if he wants you could even say, like, if his team is really shitty, you could even say, give me your second rounder and I'll give you my first rounder. I'm not saying you necessarily need to do this. I'm just saying, and then if this is the 1.12 and this is the 2.1, who cares? But this is easier to trade, though. I got a first rounder, and people give you a lot for that. So try not to do anything like that. But I'm just trying to tell you, like, give me JJ all day with Neighbors and MHJ in a 10-man league. Who gives a crap about depth?
Right. Okay.
All right, bro. Appreciate it. Later.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Gump has been waiting very patiently. Gump, what can I do for you, young man?
My mind keeps on rolling back to Jonathan Taylor. And I just figured it out. I know he had that one great year. And I've been waiting. Am I going to grab him this year? And gosh, he lead me to the promised land. What's up with Jonathan Taylor?
Did you write are you reading that? Did you write that out?
No, it's my mind, brother.
Just flowed out so effortlessly like that. Dear Smitty, read my mind. Tell me, guide me with JT to the promised land. I don't draft JT very much. It comes down to what we continue to talk about. Bucky is just better value to me, safer. I would rather have Kyren in round 3 than JT in round 2, meaning that if I've got to go Bowers in round 2 and say, screw it, I'll take Kyren and Harvey as my top 2 backs. So if I'm going to take, let's say, Bucky off the board here, and let's go grab a little Brock Bowers action and toss him on here. You give me Bowers in 2 instead of JT, and then I go get my running. I'm not saying I hate JT, but that offense isn't impressive. They're not going to live around the red zone or in the red zone or around the goal line or at the goal line. He's going to have to do all of his damage through big, long runs. He's always banged up. And honestly, he can be very inconsistent despite having a very good finish. I get it, but I just don't know that that's rinse and repeat just because he did well last year at the end of the year. There's still other metrics that concern me.
Did he get traded at the end of the year if they're not doing good?
I don't think so. Running backs aren't getting traded that often, though.
Isn't he a
what?
Isn't he like Saquon? Isn't he just like powerful, big, loser?
I mean, he's good, bro, but he's not Saquon. No. Is he going in round 1? Is he going in 3 or 4?
He's like 27 or something. 26.
He's getting up there, bro. Ziggy, how old is Jonathan Taylor? Ziggy, how old is Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor is 26 years old and was born on January 19th, 1990.
Okay, so 26 turns 27 next year. So yeah, 26. But still,
I'm feeling Jonathan Taylor.
Well, you can take it. I mean, first of all, if you're talking Dynasty, then you've got probably 2 years, 2.5 years before you're worried. Maybe 2 years before you're worried. Redraft doesn't. Age doesn't do anything for me. Give me Bucky. You know. All right,
Gump, Tank Dell.
Anything else?
How about Tank Dell?
What about Tank Dell?
Tank Dell.
What about Tank Dell?
How do you feel about him?
What do you mean how I feel about him? He's not going to play this year.
Yeah, oh no, the running back.
What do you mean the other? There's only one Tank Dell. He's a receiver.
He's running back.
You mean the running back Tank Dell? There is no running back Tank Dell. Gump.
Not Tank Dell, but the other Dell.
There is no running back Dell. Do you mean the other Tank? Tank Bigsby? Tank Bigsby? Okay, that's different. That's different. He's not Dell. They're not related.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
What about Bigsby?
I like Bigsby, but he is, he's a sleeper. You grab him, you cuff him to Tootin if you can.
Who's the bigger sleeper? Bigsby or Charbonnet?
Probably Charbonnet. I mean, well, Bigsby's more deep into the draft, so you could say deeper sleeper, because Charbonnet's going to go relatively high. But who's got more win-a-league potential? Probably Sharps.
Boy, he's monster.
I mean, Sharps is the number 2 overall running back if you extrapolate his 5 games started, on 17 games. So
I can't believe you don't like Chase Brown like you do.
I do like Chase Brown. No, that's where you're wrong. This is where people that love JMO like you, people that love Chase Brown. I'm the one that conducted the Chase Brown train. But the problem is when someone comes in with these high expectations, it forces me, and I hate it. I hate doing it. Forces me to cut them down to size a little bit, and then it looks like I don't like them. But we can't. You hearing me say don't draft Chase Brown in round 2 does what for you, Gump? You think I don't like him? It's not about that. It's that he goes in round 4. Just like you wanted to take Fields in round 4 the other day. And I was like, why are you going to take Fields in round 4? You could give Fields around 9 or 10. What?
He's gone in 3.
No, he's not. No, he's not. In some leagues he could, but his ADP is in round 4. So if you take Chase Brown in 2 and I say don't do it, doesn't mean I don't like him, Gump. But there's risk involved that you got to account for, and you can't be taking players way, way ahead. You got to be careful, bro.
Kamara.
What about Kamara? What about him?
I think he's. I'm going to read that.
I think he could, but I look at him like Mixon last year. Draft him, let him play well, trade him before week 8. Don't expect Kamara. Don't expect Kamara to be there for you at the end of the year. That is the biggest fool's gold trap that there is. If you draft him, expect to trade him. But here's the thing: why not just take someone like Harvey instead of Kamara to begin with, and not have to worry about making a late midseason trade?
That's true.
All right, Gump, appreciate you. Thanks for waiting so long on. All right, one more.
I want to talk about Rice Man.
Rice Man. Oh, all right, let's talk about the Rice Man.
Okay, what do you think about Rice Man?
I mean, you know what I think about Rice Man. I got him on the. Did I take him off? No, he's right here. I got him as one of the best picks in the 4th round, bro. So I like.
Wow.
I like the Rice Man. What's with you and not? What's with my camera? What's with you and not knowing ADP this year, Gump? You don't have a handle on ADP at all. You know what that tells me? You know what that tells me, though, Gump? You haven't practiced at all. You haven't drafted. You haven't played underdog. For you to sit here and go, 4th round, Rice.
I tell you,
He can go in the 3rd round for sure. But I'm telling you that if he falls to 4, he's
low hanging fruit. Ready to be plucked.
okay. Gump, appreciate you. Thank you, pal. Call him tonight. Yep, that's it. There's only so much I can take of Gump in one show. It really, I love the man. I really do. Gump is a man of the people, but there's only so many questions I can take. Guys, don't forget to get this hat. It's embroidered. This is not some sort of heat sealed on piece of tape. This is actually finally cracked the hat problem, and I finally created this hat that has an embroidery on the side, embroidery on the front, and an embroidery stitched, and it's unbelievable. I've never been so excited about a hat that we've been able to get cranked out. This is awesome. And I have a white version that you can get, a lighter version that has the dark logo, and on the dark logo version it has embroidery on the other side. So this one has it on 3 sides, back, side, front, blank. And the white version with the darker logo has it on all 4 sides. So check that out. The link is in my YouTube. I actually pinned this hat in the video. If you click on products on the video, there should be like a attached product, or if you scroll down you should see the hat. It's attached to this video. Or you could just go to my YouTube, and when you're on my YouTube you just click the where is it at? You just click the store tab on my YouTube, and the hat will be the first option that you see. So check it out. Do it live. We'll be back tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate all the super chats. Pittman or Jawan Jennings in Dynasty. Jawan, not even close, bro. Not even close, Jonathan. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Not even close. This is not even a discussion. $10 hauler gets a Mars shot from you, pal.
To Mars!
Thank you very much for the $10 hauler, KT. 12-man Superflex Dynasty. Need my guy to analyze a couple trades and concepts. Looking for a package. My ex and flowers for your ex. What do you mean your ex? Is that Xavier Worthy? Like, what kind of code are we talking in? Package my ex and flowers for an upgrade. Who? 2. Offered 2026 first, second, and fourth, and a 28th first for my H-hand. Do I do it? A first, a 26th first, second, a fourth, and a 28th first for H-hand. It is Xavier Worthy. Bro, you gotta assume I don't know who X is. Like, you can't just put, Z and I know it's Zay Flowers, or put B and I know it's Bijan. you gotta help a brother out. Offered 2026 first, second. Guys, are we trading HN for a 26 first, a second, a fourth, and a 28 first? I'm gonna say no. I don't care about a 28 first. You don't even know if you're going to get to the end there. You don't know if you're even going to get to the end of that 28 road. League could crumble. Pick could be a 2 point. I think this will stop zooming if I put this here. You literally could get to 2028 and it's a 1.12. Who cares? I'm going to say no on that. Looking to package my Zay Flowers and Xavier Worthy for an upgrade. JSN, Travis Hunter. Xavier Worthy's pretty good though, so you have to go after like a Travis Hunter. I mean, even like an MHJ, Worthy might be as good. I don't know. I'd go after BTJ, London, Travis Hunter, Garrett Wilson, and then you kind of hit a road where there's no real Worthy's just good enough that you keep him. Maybe Rice if you like Rice more than Worthy. Guys, what do you think? What other player could he get using Xavier Worthy and Flowers? KT, appreciate your $10 holler. Appreciate you. Hope we didn't take offense to any of my joking around with you. But I love when some of you guys think I'm this I'm like a decoder ring. It's just like X. X means Xavier Worthy. F is Flowers. X and F. Would you trade X and F for an upgrade? Rice, we got a couple Rice votes. You could trade that for Rice. Higgins, I'd rather have Worthy and Flowers than Higgins, to be honest, in the Dynasty. But London, BTJ, Travis Hunter, Garrett Wilson, any other receivers that I'm forgetting that would make sense for him in a trade. MHJ is interesting, but you could argue not to do it. So that's kind of why I'm not saying. Some would say Ladd, but I don't know. Nico, of course, I would probably do that for Nico. Garrett Wilson, I would. Yeah, that's kind of the end of the road there. Appreciate all my super chats. KT, Jonathan, John, Omid again, E-Rock, Maximum, Rock Out's got a message for me. Rock Out, you still there? Here we go. Let me see. Rock Out, he's in the building.
I drink it all up. In my Kyren and my homie, and I drink it all up. Getting the value, getting the steal, getting the real the deal. This is the way, taking off, going rocket ship to the moon. Get it? This is how we do it. Prove it. I'ma get on the way before I lose it. Demon on, we going there, we keep improving.
Woo! Rock Out, just going straight. Hey, Rock Out, you can leave these on the voicemail line too. You know, if you call during the evenings and you create something, I won't answer, and then I'll let you leave the voicemail. And if you guys leave voicemails once in a while, I'll play them. That's Rock Out. Just cool. He was insane. He was passionate on that one. Rock Out was crushing it. Thank you, Rock Out. Amid, thank you for the super chat. Nico, $20 holler. Maximum. John with the doubles. BBQ. Maximum. Chrissy. Speak. BBQ. Panthers. Aaron Swan with the 20. Just Jay and Chrissy with the first super chat of the evening. Appreciate every single one of you. We'll be back to draft tonight. Thank you all for all that you've dropped. Definitely, I wouldn't trade Achane. I don't know what the chat thought on that, but I would definitely. Could Flowers take a leap? Maybe, but I'm not gonna bet on it. I mean, am I gonna bet against it? No, but would I bet on it? No. So two different things, right? All right, see you all tonight. We'll be live drafting on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Here's the link. Underdog promo code Smitty. That's the link has been dropped. It's pinned already. But if you want to draft tonight, do this ahead of time. It's $10 only as a minimum. You can obviously deposit more. You can be subject to more bonus credit the more you deposit, up to $1,000 in bonus credit. And honestly, Underdog is so fun. It's such a fun time, and we're going to be drafting tonight. So make sure you get ready. Don't forget that you can get on over to my Patreon. I'll go on Patreon right after this and say, what's up? Anybody having topics, after show topics? So it's $10 a month. Cancel anytime. You can do it for just 4-month period. You can do it now for a month, cancel, do it on August, September, October. We're all crammed in this game day lounge room during any game. Monday night, Thursday night game, Saturday games, Thanksgiving games, Christmas games. You're alone on Christmas? No, you aren't. Not anymore, because we're all inside this game day lounge anytime there's a game going on. And Sunday mornings, forget about it. Sunday afternoons, forget about it. Sunday night, forget about it. We live inside this room. Hey, did you see that? Hey, what do you need? I just scored. Bijan! And if you're like at work and you can't watch the games, all you got to do is subscribe for $10 a month, and you'll get a play-by-play in this game day lounge, because you will have people going, Bijan, touchdown. Everybody tries to announce what's happening, so you can literally follow along. I don't read it live because it'll get ruined for me. I'm watching TV and someone goes, Bijan, touchdown. Bijan, do you see that? Achane, 15-yard run. And that's what's so amazing about this Patreon. Link is in the description. And you can always go to patreon.com/fantasyfootballshow. But it's also in the description of any video. But here's the link right here to join the Patreon. So again, Patreon link, Underdog link is pinned. Underdog link is in the description of the video. And don't forget to get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Year-round rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, I'll drop that link. It's also in the description of the video. All these links are in the description of the video. The hat, this hat I'm wearing, this embroidered hat, this is not an ironed on thing. This is finally, we cracked the hat game. This is the first one that I got. It's the first one. I ordered the first one. This is it. This hat is unbelievable. That link is in the description as well. Get your hat just like this one. This is the best hat I've ever had. I'm so pumped about this hat. TheFantasyFootballShow.com. This is my content. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. The bread and butter, really, of the brand from the original days. Make sure you're smashing the hell out of that. And I'll see you all tonight when we draft. Underdog, code Smitty. That link I'm dropping one more time. Minimum $10. You want to get in a draft with me tonight? Make sure you're ready and download the app. The link dropped in the live chat that inserts code Smitty. Gets you ready or you won't get in. Sign up now, $10 minimum. That's it. We'll do probably a $5 super flex draft tonight. So you do the $10 minimum, you get 2 drafts right there. Plus they give you bonus credit, 4 drafts. $10 minimum, $20 in your account. At the end of the day there, 4 drafts. I think they're, and they'll double up to 50% on your first deposit. That could end at any moment, so. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. That's the show you just watched. I'm additionally live whenever big news breaks. I'm additionally live at midnight Eastern almost every single night, so see you tonight. Thank you all to my super chatters. Thank you to my gifted members. Gifted 20 from BBQ. BBQ, appreciate you. See you all tonight.